In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create this beautiful granny square shoulder bag. This is such a simple and quick pattern, so perfect if you are a beginner. I love this design for both an everyday bag and a cute little beach bag. But let's just get right into the tutorial. Okay, for this bag design you will need your bag colours, which you can use whatever colours you would like, however many colours you like, but I'm just going to be doing 2 colours in this tan colour and this hot pink colour. But once again, you can use whatever colours you will like. Just remember the order that you make the granny squares in, because we want each panel to be the same. You will need some scissors and a darning needle, and I will be using a 3.5mm hook. So I'm just going to give you a quick explanation on the basics of the design. So I'll pop up a picture on screen of what we need and how it will all come together at the end. So for this we will need 3 different square panels to create the bag at the end. I will be using the basic traditional granny square technique for this. I'll be creating the striped pattern by alternating the colours on the different rows, and each granny square will have 9 rows in total. So I'll be showing you how to make 1 panel of the granny square. Then you need to pause the video and create 2 more panels on your own, so you have 3 panels in total. So let's just move straight on to the tutorial. So we're going to be making the basic granny square design. So take your first colour that you want to use as the middle of the granny square. I'll be using this tan colour, and you want to start with a magic ring. So create your magic ring. And pull tight, and there we go. So that's the magic ring done. And now you want to chain 3. So this chain 3 will count as the first double crochet of the round. So chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and like I said, this will count as the first double crochet of the round. So now you want to place 2 more double crochets into the magic ring. So 1 double crochet and 1 more double crochet. And then you want to chain 2. So 1 and 2. So this counts as the first middle corner of our granny square, and we want to create 4 of these corners. So to do this, place 3 more double crochets into the magic ring. So 1, 2 and 3. So this is another corner, and once again chain 2, 1 and 2. 3 more double crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2 and 3. This is another corner, chain 2, 1, 2, and now 3 final double crochets into this magic ring. So 1, 2 and 3, and now finish off with a chain 2, 1 and 2. So as you can see, we have 4 clusters of 3 double crochets. So the starting one, which is 2 double crochets and a chain 3, that counts as 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets here, 3 here and 3 here. So to finish off this round, you just want to slip stitch back into that top of the chain 3. So that chain 3 we made at the start, insert the hook at the top stitch of the chain 3. If I can get it, there we go. In and slip stitch. Now, as we're changing colours every row, I can just fasten off this colour now. But if you're not changing colours every row, you want to slip stitch until you get to this chain 2 space. But I won't be doing that, so I'm just going to fasten off this colour and I'll meet you right back. Remember to pull the magic ring tight. So there we go, this is the first round of our granny square, and now we'll be moving on to the next colour. So I'll be using the hot pink. So I've got my next colour, and we're going to be attaching this to any of the chain 2 spaces. So what I like to do, create a slip knot, pull that a bit tighter, insert the hook into any of the chain 2 spaces, insert the hook back into this slip knot we just made and pull tight, pull the slip knot through the chain 2 space and chain 1. So that has attached your next colour to your work. And now what we want to do is chain 3. So we've just chained that 1, chain another 2, so 1 and 2. So once again, this counts as your first double crochet of the round. So now what we want to do is place 2 more double crochets into this same chain 2 space. So 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Okay, so that counts as 3 double crochets. And now what we want to do is chain 2, 1, 2, and place 3 more double crochets into this same chain 2 space. So all of this is worked into the same chain 2 space. So there's 1 more double crochet, there's another double crochet, and 1 more double crochet. So as you can see, this has kind of made a square corner, and that's exactly what we want. And we will be replicating this in each of the chain 2 spaces. Before we do that, we want to chain 1. This chain 1 counts as the side piece of our work. Now I'll be showing you what to do with these in the next round, but for now just chain 1, and let's make another corner in the next chain 2 space. So for this, you want to do 3 double crochets into the next chain 2. So 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Now that we've made another corner, we want to chain 1, and then repeat this exact step into the next chain 2 space. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into the same chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Once again for the side, chain 1, and do this exact same step 1 more time. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, 1 and 2, and 3 more double crochets into this same chain 1 space. Chain 2 space, so 1, 2, and 3. Now to finish off this round, we want to connect these 2 pieces. So chain 1, and slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 space that we made at the start. So here we go. Slip stitch. And that's our second round complete. So if you're changing colour, you can fasten this colour off now and attach your new colour to any of the chain 2 spaces again. If you aren't changing colour, slip stitch all the way to one of the chain 2 spaces. But I'm changing colour, so I'm just going to fasten this one off. There we go. So now I'll be moving back to the tan colour. So I've got my tan colour back, and we're just going to attach it to any of the chain 2 spaces. So this one here, remember, slip knot, pull that tight, pull through, and chain 1. There we go, so that's the new colour attached. Now once again, we're going to be making a corner. So all the corners are 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. So as it's the first one, we'll be chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now place another 2 double crochets into the same space. So 1 and 2. So that's the first cluster of 3 double crochets. And now as it's a corner, we want to chain 2 and put 3 more double crochets into this same space. So 1, 2, and 3. And we just want to chain 1. Now if you can remember, in the last round we chained 1 between the corners, and these chain 1s count as the side stitches. So these are a little bit different to the corner stitches. We will not be chaining in between. So what you want to do is just place 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space. So just place 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. So 1, 2, and 3. So this counts as a side cluster on our granny square. So this is all you have to do, and now just chain 1. And now as you can see, we're working back into the corner, so we need to make another corner piece. So what would that be? 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Chain that 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space. So 1, 2, and 3. Now to end off the corner, just chain that 1. And now as you can see, we're back onto a side chain, which is that chain 1 in the middle. So once again, just place 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. So just 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And that's all for the side bit. So chain 1, And now we're back onto a corner, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets for the corner. So 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and finish off this corner with a chain 1. Now, as you can see again, we're on the side, so just 3 normal double crochets in this chain 1 space. So there's 1, 2 and 3. And then once again, chain 1. And we're back at the corner, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets again. 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1 to finish off that corner. And we're on to our final side piece. So 3 double crochets just into that chain 1 space. So 1, 2 and 3. And now once again we just need to finish off with a chain 1 and slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3. Slip stitch into there. Now, just like the previous rounds, you can fasten this colour off if you're changing colour. If you're not, slip stitch until you get to that chain 2 space. So I'm just going to fasten off this colour and move on to my pink. As you can tell, in every chain 2 space, it's a corner. So for the corners, it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And every chain 1 space, it's the side. So for this round, we have 2 chain 1 spaces. So that means we need to do 2 clusters of 3 double crochets. So in every chain 1 space, it's 3 double crochets, and every chain 2 space, it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Let's move on to our 4th round. So attach your new colour to any of the chain 2 spaces. Obviously pull that through and chain 1. Once again, we want to chain 3, so 1, 2 and 3. As we're in a chain 2 space, we want to be making a corner, so that means do another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Chain 2 as we're in a corner, and then place another 3 double crochets into this same chain 2 space. So 1, 2 and 3. And then finish off the corner with a chain 1. So in between every cluster, you want to do a chain 1. So in between the 2 side pieces, chain 1. At the end of a corner piece, chain 1. So as you can see, we're moving on to the chain 1 spaces. So this means it's just the side pieces. So in this first chain 1 space, you want to do 3 double crochets. Just 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. And as we're moving on to another cluster, chain 1. And now this next chain 1 space, do another 3 double crochets. So once again, the chain 1 spaces, all you have to do is put 3 double crochets into them. And then at the end, chain 1. And now moving on, we're back at the corner piece. So in this chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Once you get the hang of it, it's very easy to complete. So there's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And that's the end of the cluster, so chain 1. Now we're back onto the sides, so the 2 chain 1 spaces, 3 double crochets in both. So this first one, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Chain that 1. Next one, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 again, because we're at the end of that cluster. Now we're back at the corner, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1 again because we're at the end of that cluster. Now the side pieces, 3 double crochets in each chain 1 space, so 1, 2, 3. Chain that 1, 3 double crochets in the next, 1, 2 and 3. You understand what's going on now. So we're back onto the corner, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now onto the 2 remaining side bits. So remember to chain that 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And then finish off with the chain 1 and slip stitch back into the top of the chain 3 space. So that's our 4th round all complete. So you want to make 9 rows of this. So right now we've done 4. We want to make another 5 rows and we'll be done with our first panel. Move on to the next colour. So fasten off. And once again, add your next colour to one of the chain 2 spaces. So here we are back. Attach your new colour. And I think you've got the hang of it by now, but I'm just going to do the rest of the rows with you. So chain 3. And guess what? We're in the corner. So 2 more double crochets as we've just chained that first double crochet. So 1 and 2. Chain 2, 1, 2. 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, 3. End that cluster with a chain 1. Now as you can see, we've got 3 chain 1s on the side, so we'll be placing 3 double crochets in each of them chain 1s. So every row will add a new chain 1 space on each side. So you'll have to do another cluster of 3 double crochets on each side as the rounds continue. Now 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1 between clusters. In the next chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, remember, between clusters. Next chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 after this cluster. 1. And now look, we're back onto the corner. So what do the corner means? 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. 1, 2. 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. So repeat this around and I'll meet you back at the end. Remember, so the chain 1 spaces on the side, just 3 double crochets in each. The corner spaces, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Remember to chain 1 in between every cluster and I'll meet you back when we're back here. So we're on our final 3 double crochet cluster, so that chain that 1, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and finish off with a chain 1 and slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 space. Once again, fasten this colour off unless you are changing colour and then just slip stitch to the chain 2 space. So that is our 5th round all complete. So you want to do 4 more rows of this. So pause the video here and repeat these steps until you have 9 rows in total. So remember, corner chain 2 spaces, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and in the side chain 1 spaces, just do a cluster of 3 double crochets. Remember to chain 1 in between each of the different clusters and chain 1 between the corner place and the side places. So pause the video here and I'll meet you back when I've completed all 9 rows. And here we go. So this is 9 rows in total. I've gone in and weaved in all the excess yarn on the back. And this is 9 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you want to make 3 of these panels. So using the exact same steps as before. So if you want to go back in the video and watch the same steps, create 3 more of these panels. So pause the video, go back in the video and create 3 more panels and then come back to this stage now. And I'll show you how to assemble the bag and create a strap. And here we go. So we've got the 3 panels of the granny squares complete and now we can move on to assembling the bag. So I'm going to pop up a picture of the layout of the assembling and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So what we need to do is fold all of these squares into right angle triangles. And then once we've got the triangles, we sew the corresponding sides to the other granny square, if that makes sense. So let me just give you an example. So if we take one of our granny squares and fold into a right angle triangle, put that to the side, take another one of our granny squares, another right angle triangle and pop that to the bottom, and then take our last square, fold it in half and pop it onto the other side. So when folded in half, this is what our bag should be looking like. So as you can see, all folded in half into triangles, and one at the bottom, one to the left side and one to the right side. And now we'll be sewing all the triangles together. So as you see, this is one, So this side will be attached to this side, and then the back of this side will be attached to the back of this side, and then the same for this side as well. So these two together and these two together. Let's start with the back side of the bag. So you can attach these however you would like, but I'm just going to sew them together with the excess yarn that I have. You should get your darning needle and thread it with the excess yarn. Simple, simple. There we go. And I'm just going to start off with the right hand side of the bag. So we can move this piece away for a second. So I'm going to open up the squares, and these two sides will have to be attached to each other. So let me show you. So when folded, this is what it's going to look like. So when we unfold it, we need to attach these two sides together. So a simple way to do this is just attach each of the corresponding stitches together. So obviously we have a cluster of 3 double crochets here and here and here and here and here, so on. So we're going to attach them together using our needle. And then the chain 1 spaces in between each of the clusters will also attach them together. Make sure you are working on the back side of your panels. So this is the front side, obviously, and then the back side is here. So we're on the back side of our panels, and now we're just gonna sew these together. So I'm gonna attach my yarn with my darning needle to the middle chain of the chain 3. So let me show you this. So we've got a chain 3 here, and I'm going to attach my yarn to the middle chain. So the second chain. Attach that all the way through. I'm just going to attach this out with you. So now that we've got our yarn attached, you want to make sure to sew into the corresponding stitches. So as we've just attached the yarn to the second chain, we're going to take the other panel and attach into the second chain, which is here. Insert that hook. Go in. So now we're going to move on. So as you can see, these two panels are now attached. So the next stitch for me is the first double crochet of that corner. So I'm going to insert the hook into the first panel, back through the second in the corresponding stitch, so that first double crochet of that corner stitch as well, and pull tight. And now moving on to the second double crochet and the second double crochet of the other panel, attach them, and now the third double crochet and the corresponding third double crochet there. And now we've got onto the first chain 1. So go into that chain 1 that we made and into the chain 1 from the corresponding side. So like that. So you want to carry on doing that until we get to the second chain of the chain 2 here. See you at the end. So now I'm on the first cluster of 3 double crochets. So go into that first one, into the first one in the opposite panel and pull tight, and the second double crochet, pull tight, and again second, first, and pull tight. So my main tip for this is to take your time and make sure you are sewing together the corresponding stitches on each panel, just so it makes a neat line when sewed together, and we're not left with a really long end on one side and a really short edge on the other. So just make sure the corresponding stitches are sewed together. So the next stitch for me is the chain 1. So chain 1, chain 1. And just to let you know, we are going from the left panel to the right panel when sewing. So we're on the left side panel right now, so the yarn is here, and we're gonna go diagonal over to the next stitch and back into that left panel like that. And remember to pull tight. Pull tight. So I'm just going to finish this and I'll be back when I get to the end of our work. So I've just flipped my work upside down so I can get the last couple stitches. I'm on my last couple stitches now, so let's go into the last double crochet of this side. Then I'm going to go into them 2 chains that we made for the hole. So into the first chain, like that, and then finish by going into that second chain. So this is one side of the bag complete. So let me zoom out. So as you can see, when they're both folded, so fold that there and fold that there, this is going to be one side of the bag. And then obviously the other piece will be here to make that bag shape. Now that we've got the underside completed, we can start to sew together this side of the bag. And as our yarn's here, it will be very easy to do this. So we want to sew on the back side of our bag. So what you want to do, because obviously when we flip this over and if you start sewing up here, you'll be sewing on the front side of the bag. So what you want to do is flip your work over, making sure to keep the yarn at the bottom of your work and fold like you just did, connecting them 2 pieces. Now you can just continue to sew this side of your bag together. So we've just finished sewing the 2 chains together. So our next stitch will be that first double crochet in the 3 double crochet clusters here. And as we are on the right of our work, we will be going to the left, to the right, if you get what I mean. So whatever side your yarn is on, you'll be going into the other side and then back through this side the yarn's on. So let's go into the first double crochet on this side of the work and back through the first double crochet on this side. So that creates our first stitch for this side of the bag. There we go. And now into the second double crochet and into the second double crochet of the corresponding side, and the same again. So third double crochet and into the third double crochet of this side, pull that tight, and now we're at the chain 1, so into the chain 1 and into the chain 1 of the corresponding side. So we're just going to continue this exact thing all the way down until we get to the chain 2 at the bottom. So we're in this last double crochet now, sew that together and then go into the 2 chains we made for the corner. So into the first chain, pull that tight, and the second chain. And we have completed the first part of the bag, the right side of the bag. If we flip this back, flip this to the right side, here we go. So this is the right side of our bag, all complete. So here we go. So we've done the right side of our bag sewn together, and now we just need to attach the left side. So I've flipped this back to the front just to show you what it looks like. And our sewing yarn should be in the middle of the work. So now we're going to start attaching the left side. So now we'll be attaching this side and this side together, and then we'll move on to attaching the last back row, so this side and this side. So once again, we need to be working on the back of our project, so we need to turn this inside out again. Let's do that. Okay. Here we go, so this is inside out now, and then we need to turn the left piece inside out as well. And there we go. So what we need to do is attach this front piece here to the front piece of this side. So our yarn should be in the second chain of that middle stitch, and just like before, we need to attach the corresponding stitches. So we're in the second chain of the middle stitch, so we'll go into the second chain of this stitch. So that will be, so here's the first chain and the second chain, so go into there. So just remember, we're working on the front piece of the left panel. So it's the first chain combined. So now we'll move into this first double crochet of the right piece and into that left. So remember, we go across in a diagonal. So we're now in the left piece, so go across into the corresponding stitch and back in to that left piece. So continue this down, so the third double crochet. And now we're into that chain one space, so into the chain one space, through the corresponding stitch and pull tight. Remember to pull tight so they're all connected proper. And I'll just continue this all the way down. So we're on our next first double crochet into the next one. The only thing you need to know about the sewing portion is to make sure you are connecting the corresponding stitches. If you don't, you'll end up with a lopsided bag, so remember to do that. The next one is the chain one space. So continue this down until we get to the end, and I'll be back with you. So now I'm into the corner, so continue crocheting until you get to that chain two. So I'm going into that second double crochet, third double crochet, and now I'm in the chain space. So connect the chain two, so that's the first chain, and we're into the second chain. So that's this side all attached. So what you want to do, just remember to fold your work and turn this work over. There we go. So now we just want to repeat this exact same process for the last side. So connecting these two panels together here. So these two sides. So exact same thing again, into the corresponding stitch and through the next. That'll be the first double crochet, the second. So remember, go into our diagonal, third, and now we're in that chain one space. So continue this until we get to the end, and I'll show you how to connect them too. Okay, so here we go, we're on our last 3 double crochets and the chain 2 of this round. So go into them, obviously go into them last 3 double crochets. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So now what we need to do here is connect all of the 3 panels together. And to do this, I like to just connect all of the chain 2 together. So go into this first chain 2 of the bottom panel and go into the chain 2 of the one we were working on and crochet them 2 together. And then I like to go into the right panel into that chain space and connect them 2. And then finally back into this first chain of the one we were working on and into the first chain of the right panel. So you just need to connect the chain 2s in the middle. However you want to do that is fine, but that's how I like to do it. So just connect each chain 2 to the separate panel. And you're done with the sewing portion. So all you need to do now is secure your different ends so it doesn't come apart. So we've got one here, the ending one, and we've got the starting one here. So secure them into the bag and I'll meet you back at the end. So here we go. So I've secured all the excess yarn and we're ready to make the straps. So right now we're on the inside of the bag. So you want to turn that inside out. Make sure all your stitches are correct and tight. So here we go. Okay, so moving on to the straps, we're going to be working in the top of the bag. Choose one side that you want to start the straps. So I'm going to use this side. So just get that top. So this is the V at the top of the bag. As you can see at the top of the bag, we've got the corner, which comprises of 7 stitches altogether. So the 3 double crochets here, that chain 1, and the 3 double crochets here. So this is where we're going to be putting our strap. So grab your main colour that the last row is done in and attach it to this first double crochet here of the corner. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here, the chain 1, 1, 2, 3, and attach it to that first double crochet. So the way I like to attach the yarn is make a slip knot. Insert your hook into the stitch you want to add the yarn to. Insert back into this slip knot and pull tight. Pull the slip knot through that loop and pull up a loop. So that's attached the yarn to this stitch. And to start the strap, you want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So this counts as the first double crochet of the round. And now what you want to do is chain another one. So this counts as the chain in between the stitches that we're going to make. So now skip the next stitch and place 3 double crochets into that next stitch. So skip the direct next one and place 3 double crochets into that next one. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 1, skip the next stitch, which will be that chain 1 space. So skip that chain 1 space and place 3 double crochets into the next stitch. So that first double crochet after the chain 1. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1 again. So we've chained that 1 and now we're going to skip the next stitch, so skip this second double crochet and place 1 double crochet in that last double crochet there. So just place 1 double crochet in that last double crochet. So there's 1 double crochet. And that's the basis of our strap started. So now we're going to repeat this exact same process for however many rows we want in the strap. So this completely depends upon you. So if you want your strap longer, you'll do more rows, and if you want it shorter, you'll do less. So for me, I'm going to be making a shoulder bag. So I'll do enough rows that the bag fits on my shoulder. So let's move on to the next row. So chain 3, which counts as that first double crochet, and chain an extra 1. Now turn your work over and place 3 double crochets into this first chain that we did. So over into that chain 1 space and place 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 1 and place another 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. So 1, 2, 2, and 3. Chain 1. If you remember from last round, we made a chain of 4. So what you want to do is count up until you get to the 3rd chain. So 1, 2, and 3. And place 1 double crochet into that 3rd chain. So there's that chain and 1 double crochet. So this is the 2nd row of the strap. And now let's just continue. So chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Chain an extra 1 and turn your work over. Now place 3 double crochets in that first chain 1 space, which is here. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and place 3 double crochets into the next. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 again. And now once again, this row we've got the chain 4. So count up to the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3, and place 1 double crochet into that chain 3 space. So this is what the strap should be looking like so far, and you just want to repeat these steps for however many rows you want in your strap. So the more you do, the longer the strap will be. The less you do, the shorter the strap will be. So I'm going to do a couple more rows of you, and then I'll go off camera and complete my strap and tell you how many rows I did. the next round, do the exact same. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, chain that extra one and turn your work over. 3 double crochets into this first chain 1 space. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1. 3 double crochets into this second chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. And then place 1 double crochet into this third chain going up. So there it is, 1 double crochet in there. So the basis of these rows is you chain 3, chain an extra 1, place 3 double crochets into that first chain 1 space from below, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and then you place 1 double crochet into the top of the chain 3 space from the row below it. So you should always have 2 clusters of 3 double crochets in each row. So this is what the strap will end up looking like. So continue this for however many rows you want and meet me back when I've done. Okay, so I think I'm done with my strap now. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So I've done 34 rows for my strap. What I like to do is find the other end where the strap needs to be connected to and attach it with a needle. So I'm just going to attach these together. You don't have to do this, you can just do it by eye, but I like to make sure the bag is where I want it to be. So just attach it together like that. And now I'm going to try this on to make sure it's the length I want the bag to be. So I've got my bag and that is about the right length I want the bag to sit. So now the strap is done and I just need to attach it to this side. So let's do that. So the strap is now complete and now all that's left to do is just attach it to the other side. So you can take out this pin now. So all you want to do is just lay your bag flat so you can see where we need to attach it to, and it's this corner here that we need to attach it to. So you've got your strap on your hook now, and what you want to do is just make sure the strap isn't twisted while you're attaching. So lie that strap out flat, make sure it isn't twisted. So that's not twisted for me. So I'm just going to lie this down where I need to attach it to the other side. So with this last row, you just want to chain 1. So we're just going to do the exact same thing we did for the other side of the bag. As we can see, we've got 3 double crochets here, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. So that counts as our 7 stitches. So to attach the double crochet to the stitch, all you want to do is go into this first double crochet of the other side of the bag. So this one right here, go into there. And you just want to slip stitch. So pull up a loop, pull through and pull through and pull all the way through. So we've got this first double crochet attached. And now what you want to do on the strap, we've got this chain 1. So slip stitch into there. Now we don't have to go into any stitch for the bag. So just pull up a loop and pull all the way through. So that's the chain 1 done. And now we're working on these 3 double crochets. Now when starting the strap, what we did is place these 3 double crochets into 1 stitch. So that's what we're going to do here, but with slip stitches. So go into that first double crochet of the strap. So this first double crochet, go into there. And now on the bag itself, skip the next stitch. So we started on this first double crochet, skip the second double crochet and go into the third and place a slip stitch. So all the way through and slip stitch. Now go into the second double crochet of the strap and go back into this same space that we just placed that slip stitch. So go into that same space, pull up a loop and slip stitch. And for this third double crochet, do the exact same. So go into the third double crochet, go into that same space that we just slip stitched and slip stitch again. So them 3 double crochets are all attached to the same stitch. So we've got the chain 1 on the strap. So we just go into that, not into the bag, and slip stitch on that chain 1. And now we've got another cluster of 3 double crochets. So we're going to do the exact same thing again. Go into the first double crochet. And now in the bag, we have this chain 1 space. We skip that one. So skip that stitch and go into the first double crochet of the next cluster. So in the bag, first double crochet, insert, pull up a loop and slip stitch. Go into the second double crochet of the strap, insert, go into that same space that we just slip stitched into and place another slip stitch. And now for the last one, last double crochet of the strap, go into that same place that we just slip stitched and place another slip stitch. So that's half the strap completed and attached. Now we're left with that chain 4 that we made at the start of this round. So what you want to do is go into that 4th chain of the stitch. So there it is. And place just a slip stitch into there, not into the bag itself. There we go. And now this chain 3 counts as our last double crochet of the round that we need to attach to the bag. So go into that chain 3, so the direct next one. And on the bag we have 2 stitches left. So we have 2 double crochets left in the bag. So we skip this next double crochet and go into the last double crochet of the round and place a slip stitch. So go into there, go into there. And that's the strap attached to the other side of the bag. So what you can do, chain 1 and just fasten off this yarn. So that's that side of the strap attached to the bag. So that's the straps completed. So just weave in the excess yarn that we have and secure that tight. And now we'll move on to the last step of the bag. So here's the bag with the straps all completed. So I've weaved in the excess yarn and secured it. And I'm just going to go around the bag lining the edges. So this is optional. You can leave it here and this is your bag complete. But I'm just going to do this last extra step, give it something extra. So for this, I'm going to be using the opposite colour to what the strap colour is. So for this, it's going to be this hot pink colour. So we're just going to place single crochets all the way around the outside of the bag. So I'm going to start on the front side of the bag. So in this corner here. So I've got the yarn colour that I want to use and I'm just going to attach this to the right side of the bag. So it'll be this chain here. So this chain 1, I'm going to attach it there. Go into that chain 1. And just attach your yarn to there. So that's our first single crochet done. And if you've attached it another way, just place a single crochet into this chain 1 space. So now I'm going to go all the way around, placing single crochets in each stitch. So remember, each double crochet should have a single crochet in it. Also, the chain 1 spaces should have a single crochet in it. So let's just do this. So here's one. And we're at that chain 1 space, so place a single crochet into the chain 1 space. Now back into the double crochets, so 1, 2 and 3 into that chain 1 space. So just continue this for this side of the bag. 1, 2, chain 1 space. All the way down. So I'm at the bottom of the one side, and as you can see, we've got this V in the middle where we attached all 3 panels together. So it might be tricky to see where you need to put the single crochets for this round, so I'm just going to do it with you. So put them in the last 3 double crochets that we did. There's 1, there's 2, there's a 3rd one. Okay, so now we're in the centre of our bag. So what I like to do is place 3 double crochets into the centre. So we have the chain 1 space, the middle stitch and another chain 1 space. So place it into this first chain 1 space. So that's the first single crochet. And now we place 1 in the middle where we connected the 3 panels together. If you can't see the stitches, all you have to do is just place 3 single crochets in this centre. So 1 on one side, 1 in the middle and 1 on the other side. So there's a second one. And now let's place another single crochet into the left side of the bag. So the middle of our bag should have 3 single crochets, and now we can just carry on up the side. The next side of the bag starts with 3 double crochets, so put a single crochet into all 3 of them. And then chain 1 with a single crochet. Now another 3 double crochets. And then that chain 1 space. So you just want to place a single crochet in every stitch around, even in the chain 1 spaces. And then in the middle of the bag, just place 3 single crochets as we just did. Carry on, that's a single. Another chain 1 space. So here's the last chain 1 space of the sides of the bag. So just place it in there. And now we're moving on to lining the strap. So for this, you want to place 1 single crochet into this first double crochet here. So the double crochet below where we attached the strap, just place a single crochet into there. This just makes the transition between the strap and the bag neater. And now we can start single crocheting up the bag. So every chain 3, you need 3 single crochets into that chain space. The start of the bag is 3 chains. So you go into that first chain, place a single crochet, that second chain, place a single crochet, and for the third chain, place a single crochet. Now we've got another chain 3, so another 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and that third one. So the strap is lined with chain 3 spaces. So every chain 3 space, you need to place 3 single crochets. So we've got the next chain 3 space. So place 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Next chain 3 space, 1, 2, and 3. And we just want to continue this all the way around the strap. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So just continue this all the way around the strap until we get to where we first attached the yarn. So we're on this last chain 3 of the strap. So 1, 2, and 3. And then once again, to make the transition better between the strap and the bag, place the last single crochet into the first double crochet of the bag. So as you can see, there is a hole here where you just need to place that last single crochet. And now you can just slip stitch into that first single crochet we made and fasten off and secure this yarn. Okay, so here we go. That's the lining of the first side of the bag complete. So we've got this pink going all the way around. And now what you want to do is flip over the bag and complete the exact same thing for this side of the bag. So a single crochet in every stitch around. Remember to place a single crochet into the chain 1 spaces and 3 single crochets in the middle of the bag here. And also in each chain 3 space of the strap, place 3 single crochets. So I'm going to go off camera and complete this last lining and I'll meet you back here. So here we go, we have completed our bag. So we've done all the lining, all the pink is done, and you now have a little granny square bag. So what you can do is you can line this bag with a bit of material if you really want to, or you can just leave it as it is. I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it was easy to follow. If you have any questions or queries, please put them in the comments. If you have any other designs that you want me to create a pattern for, please also put that in the comments. Give this video a like if you like this tutorial and me a little subscribe because it helps me very much. And I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.